Okay, guys, welcome to the class. Okay, we're going to start standing. So find a space on your mats where you can stand. You can't see my feet, but that's okay. I'll just move back a little bit. I'm just going to sort the lighting out before we get going. Just want to make sure it's going to start to get a little bit, not dark, just in this flash it gets a bit for the camera. Right, I think that, yeah, the other one's too harsh. I might just do that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, guys, so bear with me one moment. Okay, so welcome to the mat work class. We're going to start standing, and we're going to be standing for quite a little while, and then we're going to do the last part of the class on the mat. Okay, so place your feet underneath your hips and just get that feeling of length. And I want you just to feel as though you're putting gentle pressure through your big toe, your little toe, and your heel. And by doing so, your arches will lift, your knees are strong, and your pelvis is in a neutral position. So it's not rocked too far one way or the other, it's just in the center. Feel as though you're lifting your ribs away from your hips, relax the shoulders down, and then just start to move forwards and backwards, but without lifting the feet off the floor at all. You are literally just moving your body. Keep going, we're going to come in a little bit closer, okay? So we're just going to go forwards and back, but I'm not lifting my feet, I'm just shifting the weight. That's all I'm doing. And as I'm doing it, I'm thinking about my pelvic floor. So start to think about your sit bones and gently draw them together. Not squeezing bottom, but just gently drawing the sit bones together. Good, and then just come to a stop in the center. So now we've just kind of woken up those stabilizers and they kind of know that they've got to start doing something, and we found that central point. And I just want you guys to now focus on your breathing. You can keep your arms down low, or you might want to put them on your rib cage, whatever helps you. And as you breathe in, you're going to feel your ribs expand. So just feel that widening of the rib cage. Keep going. As you're inhaling, you're getting this lovely expansion. You're really filling up in the bottom of the lungs. You can feel this bit sort of extending out. That's what you want to feel. This bottom part is widening, and then it's gently relaxing in. Meanwhile, this is all relaxed. The shoulders are relaxed, the chest is relaxed. Start to think about engaging the core as you breathe out. So it's not like we're not going to tense, but as we're breathing out, we're just gently wrapping in like a little belt. And it's all the way around you. So the whole thing around your center draws in as you're breathing out. So you're starting to connect with the transverse abdominis. Relax your shoulders down, guys, and we're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to roll down through the spine, thinking about that core engagement. Take a breath in, exhale, lift first, come all the way down to the bottom and just hang there. Keep the weight even between both legs, relax your shoulders and head and neck. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to lift your belly button towards your spine. Draw the waistline in, and that's going to help you lengthen up, and your head comes up last. Take a breath in. Exhale, roll down. In sequence, through the spine, just hang at the bottom. Inhale and exhale to lift your tummy as you roll up through the spine. Head comes up last. And then we just do one more. Take a breath in. Exhale. As you're coming up, Notice if there's a difference in the legs. Head comes up last. Okay, awesome. I want you guys just to turn to the side, okay? And you're going to lift your, I'm just going to move that slightly. You're going to lift your back heel up, and then you're just going to go down, okay? So this is the movement of the back foot. That's all we're doing, is we're just rolling through the foot, and we're getting a lovely bit of stretch through the Achilles, through the calves. Let's have an arm reach. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And what I'm doing is I'm just thinking about keeping my pelvis aligned. If you notice, the front knee doesn't change shape. So it stays with that same kind of angle as I go forwards and back. So I'm really working as well through the gluteal muscle on the front leg. You should feel that little connection. As your arms are going up to the ceiling, think about drawing your shoulder blades down. And just think the movement is actually coming from your center rather than the hands or the wrists. Just something to think about. Check in with what's going on with your center. Now we're going to come forwards and stay with the heel lifted. And I just want you to shift the weight more into the front leg so the toes start to peel off, and then lightly lift your leg, but the front knee is bending and you're stabilizing. And you might feel that your ankles kind of going all over the place, and that's what this is all about, stability work. Stay in that position. We're not gone very far, we're just a little bit of a lift. And all I want you to do is tap your toe onto the floor and then lift the leg. Tap and lift. Draw your belly in. Make sure we're not doing anything like this with the shoulders. Check in with the shoulder blades. Draw them down away from the ears and into the center of your body. Lift up through your tummy. One more. Hold the leg in the air. Gently shift the weight back onto the toe and then come back down through the heel. Well done. Okay, let's change to the other side. That's certainly woken the glute up, hasn't it? Okay, so we're just going to start hands on hips, go through the heel and then lift. Heel and lift. Good. Keep that front knee the same. Yeah, it doesn't change. So we're not going like that. Yeah, the front knee stays the same. So then we're going to add the arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. I just want you just to float those arms. Just let them float away, that you're very much connected. So even though they're reaching away from your body, they're drawing into your center. Lovely, really nice. And you can feel that lovely stretch through the calves. That's nice. Now we come forwards. Stay. Gently shift the weight a little bit more into the front leg. Push through the heel of the front leg. Let the toe come off the floor. Stay bent in that front leg. Tap the toe down. Lift up. And I'm using my glutes to do this. I'm not using my back. So make sure you don't like arch the back in order to extend the leg. It's got to come from the glutes. So the position of your back stays the same. That front knee stays bending. You're lifting up through your tummy and you're stabilizing. Try not to scrunch the toes, which is very hard to do, but just try and relax those toes. The ones that are on the floor, watch they don't sort of go scrunchy, scrunchy. Now gently place the toe down and shift the weight back in. Beautiful. Come back to feet underneath hips, okay? And we're going to do a roll down from the crown of the head. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, roll up. And again. Just gentle breathing, gentle rolling. Let both knees do the same thing. So one knee does the same as the other one. Yeah, as in lengthening and bending and everything. Scoop the belly. Relax those arms. Last time, rolling down. And stay at the bottom this time. Bend your knees and stretch them. And keep going like that, but I want you to think about what your core is doing. And sometimes when we say core, we think, oh, I've got to really tighten, and that's definitely not the case. I want you guys just to gently think about lifting. Just think about lifting your tummy away from your legs. That's all you're doing. And we're getting a lovely stretch in the lumbar, a lovely stretch in the hamstrings. And we're thinking, are we coming down evenly through both legs? We're just going to do one more. And then scoop the belly and roll up through the spine. One bone at a time. Awesome. Stay where you are. I'm just going to change the angle of this a little bit. Okay. All right. So you guys are going to take your arms into the air. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Just kind of let them settle down. Okay. And you're going to reach one arm up, but you're leading from the side rib. And then the other arm leading from the side rib, okay? So you're just getting this little stretch in the side of your body. There's nothing too intense. Allow for natural movement at the knees. You'll feel like one knee wants to bend a little bit. Don't completely sink, but you'll feel that natural kind of move, and that's okay. And try not to look up to the ceiling. Sometimes we do this because we want to go higher, but then we end up hurting our necks. So just be aware of your be aware of your neck position. Just feel like you're gently pulling from the side ribs. That's where it's coming from. Lovely. Just do a couple more. Awesome, guys, and let the arms just hang. I'm going to get you to take your legs a little bit wider. And come down into a little plie, and just let your arms just hang, okay? And just think about the weight being even between both legs. And I just want you to think about this rib staying on top of hips, okay? And then all we're going to do is keep the pelvis where it is, and it's just the ribs that are going to move. So you're going to go ribs one way, ribs the other, ribs one way, ribs the other, but we're not going to stick them forwards. We're going to keep them slightly behind the pelvis, and I'm just shifting the rib cage. That's all that's happening. I'm not lifting like my shoulder and trying to sway the whole thing. It's literally going across, across. And go slowly with it. Keep this lower part pulled in. Keep the knees out. Watch the knees haven't collapsed in here. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something lovely today. I was allowed to visit, because obviously animals don't have COVID-19, 3 golden retrievers. 3. I saw 3. I got to cuddle them. 3. Yeah, just saying. It's one of the best days of my life. Okay, hold in the center. From there, guys, I want you just to lengthen the legs, turn the feet a little bit parallel, and just roll down. Just come down, just let your head just hang. And just relax those shoulders. And then from there, just bend and stretch the legs. Very gently, just pressing the knees over the midline of the foot. Scoop the belly. Sorry, that buzzing sound is my phone vibrating. This is our last one. And then we're going to scoop and we're going to roll up in sequence. Relax your shoulders. Lift the arms into the air. Relax them down. Okay, nice. Now, bend and stretch. And as you bend and stretch, I want you to push your knees over the mid part of your foot. So you're not going to let your knees roll in, yeah? You're just going to press them out. don't like force them back, but think about where the midline of your foot is, and that's where the knees are going. Then I want you to think about your shoulders. Are we here? Or are we relaxing the arms? Try to get length in the arms, but the shoulders down, which is actually really hard to do, because we either go reach the arms up or pull the shoulders down, and it's hard to get the two things going on together. I want you to pull your shoulder down, and your arms straight at the same time. And that's the challenge. Hold it here and just pulse, little tiny pulses. Push the knees out. Watch you're not doing that with the back. It's almost like you're slightly tucking the tail under. Squeeze your bottom, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Pulsing pressure. Good. Even pressure through both legs. Shh. Shh. Watch, try not to do this. See if you can go straighter armed, but with the shoulder blade coming down. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. So we're really working through the top half of the body and the bottom half. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You may be starting to sweat now. And relax. Just walk the feet back in. We're going to come down onto the mat. My goodness, I hear you cry. Okay, so going to adjust this. Okay, all right, guys. So I just want you to lay down. Okay, just lay on your back and just place your knees and feet in line with your hips. Okay, so you've got that nice lengthening through the spine. Okay, and we're just thinking about stretching from the top of the head to the tailbone. Okay, very gently just reach your fingertips towards your ankles. Lightly press your arms into the mat and check in with your neck position. Make sure your head's not tipping backwards. Look ever so slightly forwards. We're nice and warm now. We're going to come up into flexion. And the arms just hover. As I did that, I sort of slid the arms forward and they just hovered off the floor. And then I'm going to roll back down. So I'm going to start with a head nod. Remember, the head nod is not pick the head up. It's just gently push the back of the head away. So my eye gaze goes more forwards. However, I don't want to jam the chin onto the chest. I just want to create space. So I'm going to lift the chest. And the feeling is that the arms go forwards rather than fly up to the ceiling. So think about them reaching towards your ankles rather than going up. Flattening your tummy as you do it. What is really important is that we don't push the back. Okay, we're not pushing the back into the floor. We're just tightening in our lower tummy. And we're getting some nice flexion in the thoracic spine. And a lot of us these days are quite long and straight and extended in the thoracic spine. So we want to get some mobility there. We don't want to be too flexed or too extended in the thoracic. We want it to be mobile, and it's the least mobile part of the spine, so it needs a lot of taking care of. The lower part of the back tends to ache the most because that can get really compressed. But we can get a bit more mobility there. Okay, that's your last one. I want you to lift one leg to tabletop. Think about lifting the second leg before you lift it. That's important, okay? Because then you'll know if you're ready to. If you're not, if you're someone doing this class tonight and you're brand new, you just joined, when you lift that second leg, your belly pushes out and your back arches up, you're not ready, you've compensated. So then I would ask you just to do this, which is one leg up and down, and focus on keeping your spine really stable and not moving the tummy or arching up through the back. That's the important bit, okay? But otherwise, we're going to progress on. If you've been doing this for a while and you've got that and you know that and you understand that, lift the second leg. Okay, bring your knees and feet together, and your knees should be slightly over your tummy, but not so much that your tailbone comes up. So lengthen the tailbone away from the head. Then I'm going to ask you to come up into flexion. So now we're here, okay? Brilliant. Scoop the belly in. Scoop the belly in. Now, If you're in this position and you can't hold it and your neck's doing this and it's just too much for you at the moment, you're going to go head on the floor and you're going to do the exercise with your head and shoulders on the floor, and that's okay. We're going to tap the toe down and lift up. Tap the toe onto the floor. Notice I don't go very far with that leg. It's just gone to there and then lift. So this is trunk stability and disassociation of the hip. So basically what that means is we're stabilizing our upper body and moving through the hips. Okay, so the trunk's having to work really hard to stay in this position. If you have your head on the floor, it's the same thing. You're still having to work hard to not let that back go into an extension. So, okay, so we're just, either way, you're still being challenged. If you are new to this class, please don't feel that you, oh, I'm not good, I've got to do the advanced option. Always start with the basics, and that is how you will get there in the end. Scoop the tummy in. Well done, guys. Breathe out as the toe taps down. Breathe in as you bring it back up. Draw the belly in. Awesome. Relax those shoulders. We're just going to do one more on each side. Keep those shoulder blades off the mat. And then place one leg down and the other and roll down. Very nice. Well done, guys. Lightly press your arms into the floor. You're going to have your feet and knees hip width apart. And we're going to go for a shoulder bridge. We're really going to focus on that segmental control. So roll to the tip of the sacrum. Then as you start to come up, squeeze bottom. Peel up in sequence. And press your knees away, like you're sending your knees away from your head. Relax the rib cage. Keep the knees like together, as in not completely touching, but watch they don't flop out that way. Yeah, keep them in line with the hips. Now, as we come down, press through the shoulders, scoop the belly in, so you go back into a posterior tilt, and then you roll the lower part of the back out last. So we're rolling in sequence. Let's do that again. If your feet are too far away, it makes it really painful on the hamstrings. It might be too much. So sometimes you're better off bringing them in. Don't bring them in too close, but have them just underneath the knees. Guys, you're just going to be moving in your own pace with this, okay? I'm going to be sort of stopping and gathering around, but just keep moving, okay? We're breathing. We inhale. We exhale when we move. We inhale. And then as we exhale, we scoop the belly and roll down. Lengthen away. And we're going to keep going like that, okay? So your knees are going to be pulling away from you. It's like you're being pulled. Imagine when you're at the top here, imagine someone's got their hands around your calves and is pulling them away. That's the feeling you want to have. You're really using your glutes to stabilize. Your ribs are soft. As you're coming down, you're drawing in through your tummy. You're keeping that curve right till the very end when it lengthens away. Always consider and check in with your shoulder girdle. Make sure it's not gone collapsed. Okay, the next one we do, we're going to add some pulses. I want to make this thing really clear, because sometimes when we go into this, then people start lifting their feet up. You're not going to move your feet. Your feet are going to stay completely flat on the floor for this next part, okay? They're not going to, feet aren't going to move. You are going to roll to the top of the bridge. And you're going to do some little controlled pulses. So you're going to come down about ½ inch, and you're going to use your bottom to squeeze and push. And squeeze. And you're actually going into a bit of a posterior tilt as you press the hips up. So you're not using your back to push. If you're feeling it in your lower back, that's because you're using your back to thrust. You're squeezing your bottom, so you're not thrusting here with the back. You're squeezing your bottom and going into like a bit of a posterior tilt. Yeah, that's the feeling. So it's like a squeeze and reach and lengthen the knees away. Squeeze your bottom, check in with your knees. Think to yourself, oh, are they flaring out a bit? Can I bring them closer together? Can I use my adductors, my inner thighs? And it's the tiniest little movement, but you can really feel the glutes working a lot. Now stay And then scoop the belly to roll down through the spine. And then you're going to bring one knee into the chest and then the other, and just gently circle around one way. And just massage through the lower back there. And then change direction. And just feel that lovely massage through the lumbar, through the lower part of the back. Guys, keep doing that, okay? And then you're just going to pull one knee into your chest and stretch the other leg along the mat, straight. And just feel that nice stretch there. So as one leg's drawing in, the other leg reaches away. And then we're going to change. Stretch it away. Reach the leg away. Relax the shoulders. No tension. Just a nice bit of stretching. Okay, well done, guys. Awesome. We're going to come up to sitting position now. So come on up. And you're going to sit nice and tall. Okay. I'm just going to angle this around a little bit. There we go. Okay, so you've got on your sit bones, you've got your feet, knees, hips, tracking 2 parallel lines. It's okay if the feet come, like the toes, that part of the foot comes up. Your heels have to stay on the floor for this, okay? That's the important bit. I like to have my feet flat like that, but some people, you've got a bit of a stiff ankle, the foot might not go down like that. So that's why I'm just making that point. So when you're doing it, you're thinking, well, I can't do that. That's fine, but what is imperative is that as we start to do this rolling, the feet don't flop off, don't ping off the floor, okay? Hold underneath your thighs, relax your shoulders, really drop them down, and just imagine that there's a piece of string at the back of your head here, and somebody's lifting it up and over. So you haven't really got to do anything, but I just want you to imagine that's being pulled up. And as that happens, I want you to also draw your sit bones together. And definitely don't squeeze your bottom, just draw the sit bones underneath here. Just draw them together as you're getting that lift. You haven't really got to do much, but you should feel a better connection. With that connection, you're going to roll through your lumbar spine. As you roll back, you stop and notice, are my arms now straight? They should be. And you should be like in a curved spine. And then you're going to roll back up to straight, but you didn't use your arms to pull you. Okay, so as I go down through the spine, I'm lifting up. So it's a piece of string. As I go back, it's pulling me this way. Over, 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 over. And the tummy's pulling in flat. And then I roll up. So again, I'm going from the crown of the head, I'm lifting up to the ceiling with the crown of my head, I'm looking towards my toes, I'm pulling in my tummy, but it's like the back of my head's being pulled that way. You can see where I'm pointing, that's where I'm being pulled. So then you get more connection through here. Now it might feel good for you to go further, and if it does, I want you to do that, but don't do it if all of a sudden it's a strain. So you get to that point we were at. If it feels good to let go of the hands and just roll down completely and let the legs straighten out as well, do that. And then it's the coming up bit, which will be the telltale sign, because we need to make sure that we do it with, you know, articulation, not momentum. Beautiful. And then, of course, if you still want to advance it, you do the whole thing with straight legs. Either way is fine. So you can choose, if you're a newbie, you might choose to stay here and just get that. Because Pilates takes months and months and months to really understand. But actually, I'm going to be so bold as to say years, okay? So, you know, if you are newer to this class, if you've just joined in today, I would just try to get that feeling of lifting up through there and pulling up through here. And if that doesn't make any sense to you at the moment, then definitely do that option until you get that, okay? If you have got it, however, then you start actually from here. This is where we would actually begin. So if you are progressing this, we start from here, and then we're going to roll down. As we roll down, we keep the legs drawing away from us. We try not to bring the legs with us, she says. Because I'm trying to get some movement in the lower back, and then we're coming up, scooping the belly and rolling over seamlessly like we're going over a barrel. So we're scooping and rolling down, feel the sacrum slide underneath you, push those legs away from you. Pull the legs away from you as you roll down. Don't let them come towards your head. That's the key. As you're rolling down, imagine your legs as someone's got hold of your feet and is dragging them away from you. So as I'm rolling down, my legs are being dragged away in the opposite direction. I'm scooping in my tummy. I'm trying to get mobility through my spine. Because very often what happens is we just bypass, you know, we do a little bit of a cheat and we bypass this bit completely. And that's the bit that needs movement. So even if you're still here, let's really take our time and think, what do I need to do? I need to get that lower bit on the floor. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes because you get a greater connection. So you're really going to flatten in this tummy, pull in and feel like you're going through the vertebrae. Bit by bit by bit, you're massaging through your back. You're getting articulation and movement through the lumbar. Please do not squeeze your bottom. So whatever level you're at, just keep going with it. I've gone back to this level. Okay, so there's going to be people out there doing this, and I want people, if they're new, to absolutely do this one. But obviously, you know if you're a little bit more advanced to go for the other option. And the more you do it and the more you connect with it, the better it feels. And you get this lovely feeling of opening through the hips. And you're literally thinking one vertebrae at a time. This is our last one, and we're going to stay at the top when we get there. Awesome, guys. Now we're going to sit very tall. We're going to take the legs not too wide, just a little bit wider than parallel, that's all. Reach your arms out to the side and just take a little spine twist. When you get there, reach your arms in the opposite directions. Make sure both legs are doing the same thing. Come back into the center. Turn the other way and reach your arms in opposite directions. Come back into the center. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to reach the arms away, drawing them back into the center of the body. Keep both legs doing the same thing. That's important. So if one leg's sort of bent up more than the other, that means our pelvis has collapsed. So keep the legs the same. Think about reaching through the crown of your head. This is lovely. And each time you do it, think about going a bit further. Don't force it, but when you get as far as you can, notice something in your peripheral vision that's a bit further around the corner. Like I can see that picture of the trees out of my peripheral vision, okay? So the next time I go back around that same way again, this time I've seen it, I've connected with that picture in my head. It means that I can actually start to go a bit further towards it. Okay, so that's how you increase it sometimes, just by using thoughts. It's all thinking, actually. It all comes from a thought. But you're never going to force anything. You're just going to encourage and relax. Well done. Okay, awesome. Roll onto your tummy. Okay, and just stay up on your elbows like this. Okay. Even though you're on your elbows, what's important is that we're not relaxed and slumped. So we're pushing out the elbows. Then I want you to really, really draw your tummy in so it's not flopped on the floor. If I don't really engage and I just let my tummy go, look at my lower back, watch me let go of my abdominals. You can see it's just sunk, yeah? So I'm not moving my back, I'm not going like that. What I'm doing is, this is me not engaging at all. I'm now going to draw my tummy in. And now I've got space because I lifted my belly off of the floor. Energize your legs and have them in parallel and stay really lifted. So open your heart. Imagine now there's beams of light coming out of your chest. Yeah? So you're lifting, your chest is proud, it's open. Yeah, beautiful. Now you're going to keep your pubic bone on the floor as you bend one knee and bring your heel towards your bottom. But don't let the pubic bone come off the floor. and lengthen the leg down like it's going back down through thick treacle. Then we do the other side. So this is about working the posterior chain, all the muscles on the back of the body, and stretching the front of the body. So you're lifting the abdominals in. Your pubic bone is touching the mat. You know, if it lifts a little bit, that's okay. We're going to allow for some movement. But what's really important is that we're using our glutes like crazy. We're lengthening our thigh as we bring the foot in towards the bottom. We feel like the knee is being pushed away from the head. Really squeeze your butt, guys. I cannot emphasize that enough. And think about holding 2 rolled up newspapers underneath your armpits. You're trying to hold on to them. They're about to slip away. You've got to hold on to them. You're shining the light out of your chest. As the leg is going down to the floor, you're reaching it away from your head. And we're just going to do one more on each side, guys. Well done. Really stabilizing the pelvis. This is the last one. And then come down and just let your head relax on the floor. And just take a second. Okay, turn your head the other way. And just take a second. Amazing. Okay, so now we've got hands and elbows on the floor, legs in parallel, energized. Shoulders away from the ears. Draw your belly in. You're going to lift your chest forwards into an extension. We're going to come up slightly. Now, I'm in like a, I guess what you would call a mini cobra. So it's breaststroke prep 1 with a little bit more extension. Shoulders away from the ears, open the collarbone. Your legs are pulling away from the top of your head and your tummy is pulling in. Then as you lower down, keep that stretch in the opposite directions. So as I'm coming down, I'm still drawing my shoulders away from my ears and my legs away from my head. So again, we're going to come up. We're feeling as though we're pulling our elbows towards our feet. And as you're coming down, you're still maintaining that feeling. Keep the waistband pulling in. And your eye gaze moves forwards, but never stick the chin up because that's going to crush the neck. You want to be there, long neck, okay? Widen your collarbone. Bring your shoulder blades slightly together. It's going to make a big difference. I don't mean like hike them back, but get that little connection of them just snugging in. Let's do one more. Go as long as you can. Go longer, not necessarily higher, just go longer. Go longer, go longer, go longer. Lift your tummy, stay there. Lift your tummy off the floor a bit more. Squeeze your bottom a bit more. Stretch your legs away from your head a bit more. Keep lifting your tummy. Gently lower down. And then come back into a shell stretch. Well done. Brilliant. Just let your head rest down on the floor just for a moment. Okay, come to 4-point kneeling and just hold it there for a moment, okay? Just stay in that position, guys. I'm just going to tuck this in a little bit. Okay, so just check in and make sure you've got your hands completely up in line with the shoulders and your knees completely in line with your hips, okay? Now, I'm guilty of letting my elbows hang out like this. If you are hyperextended, if you've got hypermobility, you need to soften them, okay? You need to just keep them a little bit. It will feel like they're bending, but try not to let them hang out, okay? Shoulders away from ears. Now, this is what we're going to do. You're not going to physically move body parts, but as you breathe out, you're going to draw your hands towards your feet and your feet towards your hands. When you inhale, release. As you exhale, you're pulling your hands towards your knees and your knees towards your hands. Do not squeeze your bottom. And you're not physically moving, if that makes sense. So it shouldn't look like you're actually in space, physically moving the position of your body. It's all happening internally. Watch that your neck is not doing anything like this. So we're lifting up, we're pressing away so our head is above our shoulders. And every time you breathe out, you just pull. But it's important that you don't try to squeeze anything. And you should feel a connection in your pelvic floor when you do that. So you should feel that as you're drawing in, you get that deep core connection. You can feel, I'm always talking about drawing the sit bones together, but actually just by doing this, actually makes it quite, well, not easy, but it helps to find that connection. One more. Awesome, guys. Now you might be feeling this a little bit on your wrists. If you are, just take a moment. If you need to take a moment and come off the wrists, do that. Okay. I'm just going to say that I'm going to keep moving, but if you need to take a second out, always just take one. Okay. Remember, guys, you know your body. There's pushing yourself, and then there's also knowing when you need to take a break. Okay. So don't feel bad about that. You're going to take your opposite arm and leg out into an extension. Okay. Hold it there, lift the leg a little bit, but don't arch the back. Now I want you to scoop your belly up, bring your elbow to your knee, go back out to straight, and place it back down on the floor. Then we're going to go the other way. So stretch it away first. Once that leg has gone long, it then lifts, but you don't arch the back. Now draw up, pubic bone to belly button, scoop the belly. Let the eye gaze sort of go down, but don't drop your head right in. Stretch it away, but don't overextend the spine. Place it down. We're going to keep going like this, side to side, guys. And you're going to imagine, well, just keep stable, basically, okay? So when you're in that long spine, you've got a tray of drinks on your back you don't want to spill. Obviously, when you bend, it will spill. But what I don't want you to do is just collapse onto the side. So you're going up through the center. You're going up through the center. You're not collapsing into that supporting leg. Okay? Keep the head above the shoulders. We're going to do one more in each arm and leg. Slow, fluid movement. Really thinking about how you're moving your body. From there, I'm going to get you to walk your hands in and just scoop the belly and roll up. Okay, awesome. I'm going to let this t-shirt out now. These shorts are a bit too tight. I think it's called camel toe. Sorry, too much info. Right, okay, carry on. Right, so we're going to do a little roll down from the top of the head, but the pelvis is going to stay where it is. So we're not going to end up sort of doing this, yeah? So you're going to roll, remember you're going to lift up first. Let's actually take the arms above the head. Let me just change the, bring that camera up a little bit so you can see the arms. Let's imagine we're on the diving board, okay? So the shoulders are down. The pelvis is going to stay in position, okay? And you are going to scoop your belly and you're going to go over, like you're rolling over a big barrel, but your pelvis, you're trying not to let it drop back, so keeping it stacked. Then let the arms just hang. And now you're going to roll up against an imaginary brick wall from the bottom of the spine, and you're going to stack up in sequence, and your head comes up last, okay? So let's try that again. We'll take our arms in the air, relax the shoulders. You're going to go over, scoop the belly, try and keep the pelvis where it is. You might feel like your feet start to come up and flicker a little bit because you're using your stabilizers not to let the bottom drop back. Let the arms hang, scoop and roll up. You'll notice when I'm doing it, I've got a little bit of movement there, yeah? So we're all a little bit tight in the lower back, but we're aiming to not move, again, not stiffen, but you just don't want to do this, because if I just go like that, nothing's moved, I haven't articulated, I've just moved the position because I've flexed the hips, yeah. I want to get movement of the spine, and it's sort of like you're going like over, like imagine there's like a big ball, a big beach ball here, and you've got to go over it. What is important is don't overly squeeze your bottom because that will actually restrict the movement. Let's just do one more. Awesome, guys. Well done. That was lovely. Okay, come and lay down on your side. Just go like that. Right, okay. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to go on your elbow, and one knee's bending, and one leg is going to be straight up in the air. But you're going to make sure that you don't collapse in. So you're lifting up. It's like that leg, that top leg is being pulled away, okay? And your arm is going to go in the air. What do you think? You just don't care. Okay. When your leg goes back, your arm is going to go forwards. Yeah, but I'm not like moving the whole body, just arm and leg. It'll be natural movement, that's okay. As my leg goes forwards in that same plane of movement, my arm goes back. Just like that. Ta-da! So then we're going to keep going nice and fluid. The leg stays on the same sagittal plane, same gravital plane even, yeah? And the arm is just going forwards and backwards, and there's natural rotation of your spine. You want that little bit of movement in the spine. So it's not about, I say the arm, but it's not like the arm is doing that. It's actually do you know what? It's the rib cage. Let's think of it like that. The rib cage is the initiator of taking the body back. So as we start to get a bit more warmed up into this, we get more movement, but we're not collapsing the pelvis, yeah? We're very much staying on that. You can feel that bone, yeah? You can feel that you're on the bone there. And you should feel, hopefully, a connection through here, through the sort of the waistline is where you want to feel it. And we're just lengthening the leg. And as we're getting warmer with it, we are moving, but we're not going out of control. Everything's connected. Everything is connected. And let's just do one more. Easy, easy, easy. And relax. Okay, from there, knees together. Okay, you're going to make sure your elbow is completely underneath your shoulder. And you're going to use the muscle serratus anterior underneath your armpit to pull in. So this muscle right under here pulls into the body, and that's what's going to give you support. Otherwise, we end up in this bit. So draw in here, okay? You are then going to just simply squeeze the thighs. I don't want to say squeeze, but lightly press the thighs together. Use that serratus anterior, lift. And lower. It's such a small movement, but I want you guys to really focus on, and you can see I'm making like a rounded shape. Yeah, so I'm not coming up like flat, I'm rounding and down. And again, just a couple more, okay? Just get that feeling of lifting through here. You know, sometimes just bringing it right back to basics is great because it just really helps you to reconnect. You're lifting. It's the feeling. Imagine if there's a piece of rope tied around here, right? And now it's being pulled up to the ceiling. That's the feeling. And relax. Okay, guys, well done. Let's change sides. So, just sweaty in here. Okay, right. So we've got one leg out. Arm in the air. Remember, with the waistline not collapsed, lifted, so the leg is reaching away, okay? As the leg goes back, the arm goes forwards. As the leg comes forwards, the arm goes back, but you're sort of initiating with your rib cage, not the actual arms. You don't want to be doing that, yeah? Think about keeping your arm in line with your ear, in line with your bicep. And you're initiating from the rib cage. The leg is staying on the same gravital plane. You're lifting in your tummy, and it might feel very different on each side. And you're still focusing on drawing your shoulder blade into your body. So we've got that lovely connection. And the leg is just gliding across. It's just gliding. Well done, guys. Awesome. And relax. Bring the knees together. Okay. Stabilize. Check in with serratus anterior. Lightly press the legs together. Imagine someone's tied a piece of rope around your waist and now they're pulling it up to the ceiling. That's the feeling. And down. And even as you're coming down, you're controlling it. Now don't strain your neck. Just let your head naturally go where it, don't try and force it up. You know, let it just stay in position. And you're lifting. It's this bit here. It's lifting up. And you're controlling it down. Just going to do a couple more. Lovely. And last one, gently lifting up and down and relax. Okay, guys, I'm going to get you to come to a seated position. So whether that be sitting cross legs, or, you know, you might want to, you could sit on a chair if you wanted to for this. If you have enough, if cross legs is not really a good position for you. And we're just going to sit with a nice long spine. If you can cross your legs, think about keeping even pressure on both sit bones. So just check in with that now. And then just feel like you're lengthening up from here. Like it's that feeling. That feeling. Ponytail on the back of the head, lifting up. So you've got height. What is important is that you don't lift the chin up. So it's back of head. I'm going to turn, stay where you are. I'm going to turn this side. I'm going to show you what I mean. Sometimes when we think about lifting up, what happens is we do it with our neck and we do that. And actually, look at the size of my neck. It's gone really short. Whereas if I do that, now I've got a long neck. So it's not looking up with the eyes and the chin. It's coming up like as if someone's got that bit there and it's pulling me up this way. And it feels really nice, actually. It's a really lovely feeling. And then all I want you guys to do is just stay there. And again, don't hold it stiff. So don't think, right, I've got to hold it there. It's just, it should just feel quite nice. Yeah, and just easy. I'm just going to breathe. Okay, you're just going to breathe into the rib cage. So that's all we're doing. Just breathing low into here. Just take your time. If it feels good to close your eyes, do that. And just observe your breath. Really just relax your shoulders. Then I'm going to get you just to gently do like a half head roll, but don't force anything. Like, don't feel like you've got to try and get your chin onto your chest. It's not about that. It's just this very easy movement. Couple more. And then relax. Okay. Gently come up to standing. Try to do it hands-free if you can. So we're using our core. Oh, that was good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That was looking good, guys. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Just come back to the beginning. Stand with your feet underneath your hips and just find that center point. So think feet underneath hips, and you're making two parallel lines from the shoulders to the hips, to the knees, to the ankles. Remember, it's that feeling of growing taller. So we've connected with our deep core. We've got that feeling of lifting through the pelvic floor. We've got that feeling of being supported through the transverse abdominis. We've got that feeling that our arches are lifted off our feet. Our knees are strong. Our arms are relaxed, and it's the feeling that the back of the head's being pulled up to create more space in the body. So we're very grounded with the feet, but everything's really lifted. Really lifted. So the feet are grounding and everything else is lifting up. Shoulders are relaxing, and that's what's giving us more height. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift and roll down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, roll up. Inhale at the top, and exhale, roll down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, roll up. And well done. Give yourselves a clap. That was fantastic. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you on the next class. Have a great evening, guys. Thank you so much.